Good morning, Flosstube. I am Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you will stick around. See if there's anything you like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. Become one of my new stitchy friends. If you are returning, welcome back. I appreciate you. I appreciate our friendships. I appreciate the interactions with the comments and likes and just all the things. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you spending some time hanging out with me today, or it may not be today for you. It might be several days in the future, but just the time taken to spend some time with me. Today is Sunday, July 30th. It's almost the end of July. I cannot believe it. If you're like me, the reason I said you might not be watching me today, you might not be watching me on Sunday. First of all, it seems to take forever for my videos to upload. So sometimes they don't get uploaded until late Sunday evening because it just takes that long for them to do whatever they need to do to get uploaded. But if you're also like me, I am woefully behind in watching Flosstubes. So, you might not watch me today. You might not watch me till sometime this week or next month. That's great. I just appreciate you spending time with me. What do I have for y'all today? It is about 8 o'clock in the morning here in sunny South Carolina. It is sunny for the time being. It is supposed to rain later today. So I do have some good light coming in from the windows over there. I have a light right there, which is what's causing the reflection of my glasses. I've tried to make it so it's not that bad, but you might see the reflection some. I have to wear my glasses to see, so. And then I have my computer here that has obviously no notes for my Flosstube as far as like a plan, so we're just going by the seat of my pants. But I do have like the information for my projects, who the designer is, what fabric it's on, all that stuff. So that's on my computer. So if I look down here off to the side, I'm looking to see, because I don't remember those things very well. Sometimes I don't even remember to share them with you. It will always be put in the description box below if I fail to put or to mention what fabric I'm using or any details like that about my projects. So what do we have today? We have a finish. Yay! My second one in July, my third one for the year. So maybe the second half of the year will have more finishes in it than the first half did. I'm already on 2 for the second half of the year, and I only got 1 for the first half. So we're already rolling pretty well for the second half of the year. And I have a few others that might be finished by the end of the year. I have a new start, and I have several works in progress. If I have to pause the video, it is because my nose is running like crazy today. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but if I have to pause, it's because I had to sneeze. In fact, this is the second time I've started this because I had to stop it earlier and restart because I sneezed in the middle of talking. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what we can get in today. But let's get started. I also have some plans to share with you. I have some haul, like a lot of haul. I haven't had haul for the last few videos, so I am making up for it. And then some life stuff thrown in at the end, and I always put it at the end for those of you who are only here for the cross stitch. That way you can scoot out and it doesn't offend me. But if you want to stay for the life stuff, hang on. It's a crazy place here. So let's see what we have. I have a finish. I finished Welcome Winter, and this is from Filigram, and this was on 32 count Picture This Plus Oaken, and I do have a board. I need clips. I think that would make it better, but yeah, it is. So this is what it looks like, all done. And obviously I have enough fabric to do something else on this. But it's very, very cute. I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. I don't fully finish things very often because, you know, I've mentioned before, I don't sew, so like making it into a pillow or any of that stuff, that's not going to happen if I'm the one doing it. And I've never done a flat fold or a flat finish or anything like that, and I'm a little nervous to try my hand at it for fear that I mess it up. I don't want to mess up the cross stitch that I worked so hard on to finish it. So instead I worked so hard and I put it in a box under my bed, so I'm not really sure why I'm afraid to mess it up if it's just going to sit in a box under my bed if I don't finish it. So, you know, there's that. I do have a question for y'all. So like I said, I have enough fabric on the bottom half of this that I can use it for something else. But what I've found is that when I do that, I don't mark my fabric with like what it is, like what the brand is or the colorway or any of that once I cut it and reuse the second part. How do y'all do that? How do you keep up with what it was? Or do you just not care and you're just like, okay, this color fits, but then you have, like when I share with y'all, I wouldn't have what color the fabric is. So how do you do that? Because I have several pieces of half of a piece of fabric that, sorry for the sniffling, that I don't know what it is. And it works for it'll work for some of my projects, but I guess I'll just tell you it's a random scrap of fabric. I don't know. So how do y'all handle that? And this was housed in my Amazon bag. I have several of those. So that was my finish. Not a fully finished. It may eventually become a fully finished. I'd love to share fully finished objects with y'all. I have to fully finish them first though. So we'll see. But then I have a new start. My new start is housed in this Barefoot Needle Art bag, and if you notice, I showed this last time because it housed my December that I finished before my last video, and so my new start got to go into this because it is a winter theme. It is my first ever Mirabilia. It is Giggles in the Snow. I was planning to do them together into one piece. I fell in love with this when I saw Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch stitching this, and she stitched them together in one piece. And I really liked what she did, and I thought, oh, I'll do that. And then when it was time to get the fabric for it, I debated. Did I want to get a big piece and do them together? Did I want to get two small pieces? I decided to get two small pieces. I'm gonna do them separate and frame them, maybe eventually, and hang them side by side. So I am working on the girl first, and then I'll do the boy. And this is on 32 count white Opalescent Belfast. And here, let me get my board because this is very hard to see through. There you go. And you can, oh, it's picking up the opalescent so good. So, because this was hard to find, like, the top edge, and I wanted to make sure I have enough margin, especially if I'm going to frame this, I decided to start in the middle, which is really hard for me because I tend to start in the top and work my way down. When I start in the middle, as you can see, I work my way back up to the top corner, so that I haven't done the word yet because I didn't put my Q-snap up high enough to put snow, so I'm going to go back and do that later. But I started with the little snow pockets and then her scarf, and I'm going to work back down. So I started here, this was the middle, work my way up, and now I'll work my way across and down. So I'm going to try, my first thing is to try and finish this scarf. But doesn't that look so pretty, y'all? I love it so much. I have beaded once before, and those were kind of chunky beads. It was like a bigger piece, so it was chunkier beads. I'm a little nervous about beading for this, but I think it's going to be fine. It's going to turn out fine. And I'm not going to bead till the end, so I have a ways to go because I'm just now beginning her. But I love this. Absolutely love this project. All right. So that's my start, my finish and my start. Now let's move on to works in progress or whips. The first one, oh, I thought I had unzipped everything. I'm so sorry. The first one is Flosstube Friends, and I am working on this with some Flosstube Friends. This is what it's going to look like, and this is from October House Fiber Arts. And here is where it was before, the last time you saw it. This is also housed in an Amazon bag with, y'all, this is how I keep my floss. That's a hot mess. I know. It's awful. It works for me. I really need to organize it better in my bags, but I just throw it all in there. But here's where it is now. I finished this girl right here. So I said I was doing this with some Flosstube Friends. So what we're doing is it's a round robin, but it's not a round robin. It's not moving around. Each of us every 2 months. I'm doing this with Hannah Dowling and Corinne and Colleen from Grace Notes Stitchers, Grace Notes Fabrics, from Amy from Mimi Stitchery. I do know what it is. I forgot, but it's Mimi's something, and I will tag her below. And I don't know who the 6th person is. I can't remember. But every 2 months, Hannah from Hannah Dowling spins a wheel, and it chooses one of us to choose our person. So the first person that was spun was Corinne, and she chose this girl, and she chose purple for her color. And then the second person that was spun was me. And I chose this girl who had the biggest flippin' dress ever. And I chose teal. And I don't know why. The dress looks wonky. It looks like it's bigger one way than the other. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. I thought maybe it was just the way it was in my Q-snap, but maybe it's supposed to be like that. And then Colleen from Grace Notes Fabrics was the third person chosen, and she chose this girl. And she chose blue. And so here's where it is so far. Amy was the next one chosen, and she chose this person right here. So I will be starting on her. I'm supposed to have her finished by the end of August because that's when the next person will be chosen. Yeah. I struggle with this piece. It doesn't call to me. Like some of my pieces call to me. This one doesn't call to me and say stitch on me. I don't know why. I think I just got bogged down, especially when I was doing this dress. It was a lot. It took a whole skein plus some to do that dress. So I think that I got bogged down in that. Maybe if the next person doesn't take as long. The last one didn't take as long, so that was a little bit helpful. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get the stitchy bug to stitch on this a little bit more. My next work in progress is Winter Wisdom. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is where it was the last time I shared it. I didn't prep any of my pieces before I sat down to film. I wasn't supposed to do this today. Well, not this morning. I'll get into that more in life stuff too. But so this was like a last minute thing. So I finished the word wisdom, and I got more of the branch and the pine needles. So this one might get finished this year. I've got the crown and the house, or cottage, whatever you want to call it, the rest of the branch, and the rest of these trees. And I think that might be it. There may be a couple other things, I don't remember. But not much more. I think I could finish this year if I put my mind to it. This is on 32 count color and cotton Harbor Gray. So I am trying to keep up with putting things away. So that they don't get lost. I don't have either of the dogs in here with me this morning, so it's been a little bit calmer. They're both downstairs with their girls. My last work in progress is Christmas 2, which is by, the artwork's by Ciro Marchetti. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is where it was the last time I showed you. And here is where it is now. I am doing this 2 over 1/10 stitch on 25 count easy grid. And I was doing Royal Rose. Well, I've done a lot of different things on this, but I was doing Royal Rose. And then I started noticing that I can feel the divot, like right here, where I had this row, and so now I'm going back to the diagonal columns, not columns, but blocks. So this is where it is. I love this piece. I want to finish it. It's going to take me a while. I stitch really, really slowly. There's a ton of confetti in this, but it's coming along really nicely. Oh, that was not my last whip. I forgot. I worked on something new this weekend. Well, it's not a new piece. I haven't worked on it in a while. So this is Autumn Rules. It is from, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to look. I don't remember. Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is where it was the last time I showed you. And here is where it is now. So I finished the sunflower and this little border and this red apple, and I'm almost finished with this green apple. And I didn't start on this green apple because the color that, so I have swapped out, there we go, it kind of shows the colors. I've swapped out most of the call for, because it's called for DMC, but DMC, can't speak well this morning. However, I've subbed in a lot of different fancy floss. The one I chose to do this green, it was way too dark a green. It's this, and this is supposed to be like a limey green apple. I picked up a color for it yesterday, so that will be started now that I have that color. And this is on 32 count color and cotton Harvest Moon. It was a color fabric of the month in 2021, I believe. I could be wrong. So this is where it is. No, I don't ever put anything in my Q-snap straight. As you can tell, it's all angled uphill. I don't I struggle with that. Sometimes I'll put it back in the Q-snap 3 or 4 times. I'll redo it to try and get it straight, and I still don't get it straight, so, you know. So this is also housed in a lovely Amazon bag. They work. So that's all my works in progress. It's all of my starts, finishes. Now we're going on to Stitchy Acquisitions. I have a lot. So we'll start where at the beginning and come to yesterday. So for my anniversary, which was in June, my husband gave me a rather large gift certificate to 123 Stitch. And I spent it all at one time. So I have quite a bit of haul from 123 Stitch to share with you. First thing that I got were the 2 pieces of the white Opalescent fabric that I've already put one piece to use for the girl for Giggles in the Snow. And this is the other piece. This will be for the boy. And then I got some other fabrics so I could finish kitting up the projects that I have planned to do the rest of this year. So this is 32 count flax linen. It is not. There we go. It's a lot of neutrals. I don't know why, but I was very much on the neutrals. I got 3 fat quarters because apparently that's my new favorite. And then I have antique white, 32 count. It literally is just like off-white. And then a piece of Easy Grid. There we go. So the fabric selection, well, fabric purchasing. The selection was great. The purchasing was rather boring. It was a lot of neutrals. I have a lot of colors in my stash. I don't have a lot of neutrals. So then I got, like I said, I was pretty much trying to kit up the projects that I want to start the rest of this year. So, Color and Cotton and Gentle Arts. So a lot of floss. A bag of Weeks Dye Works floss. The beads that I will need. Let's see if I can. There we go. The beads that I will need for Giggles in the Snow. And then I got some patterns because I still had money to spend, and I'd already purchased all of the floss and fabric that I knew that I needed for the rest of, well, for the ones I've planned to start for the rest of the year. It doesn't mean those are the only ones I'm going to start. I probably will get more. So here's what else I got. If you've been here any length of time, you know that I love ink circles. So of course I had to get an ink circles. I love this one. This is Cocoa Time. Is this not just so cute? I can't wait to stitch this. Who wants to guess how many of these will get added to my want to start by the end of this year? This is Carolyn Manning. I love her designs. I've not done any. This is the first one I've bought. This is Summer Sky Glass. I love the blues in this. Absolutely gorgeous. And then Erin Elizabeth. And I had never heard of Erin Elizabeth until I was watching Go On Stitchery a few weeks ago, right after their retreat. And they mentioned Erin Elizabeth. And they showed her USA tier. And is that not just precious. So I'm very much excited to do these. And then I have been wanting this one for a while, and I finally broke down and got Jelly Bean Jubilee with all those Easter. This is Brenda Gervais. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I said it right, but oh, those are so cute. I don't have a lot of Easter pieces that I've stitched. And then I'm putting everything on this table. You see everything's like about to slide, so if you see me like do a dive, it's to catch everything. And then I got Dreaming of Sunflowers from Rosewood Manor. After seeing this on so many floss tubes, I had to get it. I don't think I'm going to do it on white. I'm thinking I'm going to do it on a blue, because I think that would help make that pop even more. And I don't know if I'm going to do all of the letters, like the random. I'm not a big like stitch the alphabet type person. I'm just not. That's why I don't, you notice, I don't stitch samplers, because first of all, if somebody else has already stitched it a way long time ago, I don't need to recreate it. I think they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just don't feel the need to stitch them. I also don't like stitching the alphabet. Like the alphabet. I don't mind stitching words. But stitching the alphabet, I have no desire to do that. So I don't stitch samplers. So that's all my 1, 2, 3 stitch haul. And then I got, every month, I get the new Cottage Garden Samplings Snowman, Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery. I have a thing with her where each month I get this build and shipped. And I love this one. And I've mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of all of them, but some of them I absolutely love. I love this one. This would be so cute to put up in November with all the like fall fruit. And then yesterday, I had the opportunity to go to Columbia. I live in Florence. It's about an 1.5 hour drive. And I was going to be in Columbia anyway, which I'll get to in a little bit in the life part. But I had to be in Columbia anyway. And I had some time to kill. And I said, oh, the brand new cross stitch store, the Stitchin Kitten, is 15 minutes from where I was dropping off my daughter and picking her back up eventually. That's not far. Why not go? So I did. Now, I don't have a lot of disposable income at the current moment because I've spent a lot on other things recently. So I couldn't spend a lot there. But I foresee me spending a lot there eventually. Because they had a lot. Y'all, if you are in South Carolina, if you live here, if you are visiting, if you are going through the Columbia area, the Irmo area specifically, which is where this is, check out the Stitchin Kitten. First of all, the ladies who own the shop are absolutely the sweetest people. Oh my goodness. So kind, so welcoming, so warm. Just, it was just a blessing to be in there yesterday. So helpful. They are brand new. They had their grand opening 2 weeks ago. And they're still getting stuff in. And they already have a lot of stuff. And they're still getting stuff in. It was hard for me to restrain myself on purchasing everything in the store that I wanted to buy. I could have easily run up quite a bill. I'm sure I will in the near future because I foresee me visiting there often. And it's not far from where my daughter's going to be playing soccer most of the weekends. So I can see me stopping by there. So I did buy, first of all, I told you I had to buy a different green. Now we don't have an LNS, a needle workshop in Florence. The closest one is now the Stitchin Kitten in Irmo or Barefoot Needle Art at the beach. both of which are about an hour and a half drive for me. So if I need to get a fancy floss, usually I'm ordering it because I don't often just go purchase a skein of floss. But so this is the color that my let's see if I can get it show that my apple will be when I stitch that other apple. So a nice Granny Smith apple green. But that's not all I bought. I couldn't just buy a skein of floss. I had to buy a chart because this one jumped out at me. I love gnomes. I don't know why I love gnomes, but I love gnomes. My daughter asked me yesterday, she goes, Mom, why do you love gnomes? I don't know, they're cute. But I'm very specific about my gnomes. I don't like the gnomes with faces. Except these are cute, but you don't like see their whole face. You see their beard, you see their nose, you see their mouth. I don't know why. Gnome eyes, I think, creep me out. Maybe that's what it is. But these are cute because you don't see their eyes. But the Patriotic Gnome Littles from Waxing Moon Designs, are they not absolutely precious? Absolutely precious. And this calls for them to be done on lamb's wool. 32 count? No, 28 count. I don't stitch on 28 count anything, ever. I stitch on 32 or 40. And these are littles. And these on this are going to be, if I did it on the call for 28, they're 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I was like, wouldn't they be absolutely adorable, even smaller? So I got, sorry for the crinkling, 40 count mushroom mocha to do them on. Because I think the white will just pop on here. Because it's a little darker. I'm so excited. Don't know when I'm going to start those either because, like I said, I have planned starts for the rest of the year. So I'm just going to add to those plans. I really think I am a member of No New Starts, the No New Starts group. This year I'm doing the Sweewee version, which is stitch what you want when you want. It's working for me this year. I think next year I might have to pick one of the others where I have a little bit more parameters and I'm not just starting all the things, because I'm going to end up with like 127 whips on the go if I keep up with this. If I start all of the things, especially the ones I just bought, plus the plans I already have, plus I already have a stack of other pieces that I want, other projects that I want to start at some point too. Yeah, I have to live forever. That's the only way I'm going to get all of these stitched, is if I live forever. So that's the plan. So that's all my stitchy stuff. Actually, it's not. But I'm going to have to pause y'all because I have to go get the rest. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I forgot to bring something upstairs. So for those of you who were here a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that my Flosstube-iversary is August 4th, which is in this next week. I started doing floss tubes in 2019, so this will be 4 years. I haven't always been real consistent. I've been trying to be more consistent. I did miss last week because I was in Boston and I'm flying home on Sunday. But to celebrate my Flosstube-iversary, I want to share some love with y'all. A giveaway. But remember, we don't say giveaway in our comments. So if you are entering this giveaway, don't say giveaway. But I'm going to give away I apologize for that. Milo has joined me and he is being loud. So I had to pause to tell him to hush. But I'm giving away the entire 12-month set of Cricut collection. So we have January. My hand is still not real strong from having been broken a couple weeks ago. So I have to put those down. January, February, March, April, May. This one was one of my favorites because it was so short but so easy to do. But those dresses, y'all, whew, those were some big dresses. June. My absolute favorite month that I did was July. I loved this one. August, September, October, November, and December. So if you would like to try to win those, if you would like to enter that giveaway, use the word month in your comment. Just the word month. You can use it in a sentence. You can just put the word month. I'm not picky. I do request that you be a subscriber because I want to give this to somebody who's hanging with me, who's a subscriber. You have to be 18 so that I can legally get your address. If you are not 18, get your parent to enter. That's fine. So that's my giveaway for y'all. So now life stuff. So if you were here for the stitching and the stitching only, thanks. I appreciate you spending some time with me. But you might want to skip out now if you aren't interested in life stuff. So life stuff. Last weekend I went to Boston with one of my girls, and we had the best time. Boston was, it was my second trip to Boston. We did different things on this trip than I did with my other daughter when we went in March. We did a walking tour of the historical Boston. We did a duck boat tour, and we did the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum, which is an interactive, like, theater-based museum. That was so much fun. And my child who went with me, she is a history major, and she used to do theater when she was in high school. So that was like right up her alley. She loved it. Now the trip there, so we went up on a Friday, spent Saturday doing the tourist thing, and flew home on Sunday. So the trip there, Boston had some bad weather Friday night last week. And if you aren't aware, Google Fenway Park for Friday the 21st. And see the video of how much water, how much rain came into their stadium. They canceled the rest of that baseball game. And, hold on just one moment. But there's video of the water just being like a waterfall down their stairs in Fenway Park. So it was bad. So we got delayed. We were on the airplane, on the tarmac at the Charlotte airport, ready to take off, and the pilot comes on and says, they won't let anybody fly into Boston right now, and so we're going to be sitting here for an hour and a half. So we sat on the plane for an hour and a half before we even took off. And then we flew, and as we got closer to Boston, the pilot comes back on, and he says, we're in a holding pattern for 30 minutes over Boston. So we flew around Boston. And then they finally gave us the go-ahead to land, and we started to descend into a horrible, horrible storm. And it felt like the whole plane was shaking to pieces. This was my daughter's first ever flight. Yeah, she was a little bit nerve-wracked. Thankfully, the trip home, and we landed fine. And we got there, and there was flash flood warnings, and we got there, we were supposed to land at 8:05, which would have been plenty of time for us to get on the hotel shuttle, get to the hotel, because the hotel shuttle runs every day until 11 p.m. Because of all the delays, we landed at 11:05. So we had to get an Uber. And our Uber driver had to go through some standing water areas, which were a little bit scary. But we got there. We made it. We had fun. Saturday was gorgeous. Sunday, it was a beautiful flight home. It helped her see that not all flights are as bad as the first one she ever had. So that was last weekend. This weekend, my youngest daughter had a soccer camp in Columbia, which is why I was up there yesterday. And while she was doing soccer, I went to the Stitchin Kitten. While we were there, she got a text from some coworkers. She works at Chick-fil-A near us. And she got a text from some coworkers that several people are out with strep throat from work. They all got sick the last couple of days. So she told me last night when we got home, she said, Mom, because she's been really, really tired from working and then playing soccer. She said, if I wake up in the morning and my throat hurts, I'm not going to go because even if I don't have strep, it could be strep, and I don't want to get any of the other people at the camp sick. Okay, I respect her for that. I think that's a great decision. I think it's a very selfless decision, and I completely honor that. So this morning she woke up. We were supposed to leave at 7, so she got up about 5:45. She came in, she goes, my throat was a little scratchy last night. It's really scratchy this morning. And she has a slight fever. It's still under 100, but it's enough of a fever that we made the call. We'd stay home, which is why I'm filming this morning and not this afternoon, because otherwise I was going to have to take her to Columbia, and then we'd come back, and I would have filmed this when we got home. So I had some time this morning instead, which is great because it was one less day I had to drive back and forth to Columbia. So hopefully this will not go through the rest of my family, because I don't have time. I do not have time to be sick. So we shall see. My second youngest daughter is leaving in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. We will be moving her in. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm a little emotional about it. I've had 3 others graduate high school, go to college, move out, do their thing. This one's moving away. My others went to college or moved, and they stayed local. This one's going 3.5, 4 hours away. That's going to be a little harder for me. So, y'all, say some good thoughts. Think some good thoughts. Say some prayers that I will not lose my mind as we get ready to drop her off and move her in. Because this one's, I struggled when my oldest moved out into his own apartment, and he literally lives 3 minutes from us. I struggled then. So I will struggle. It will be hard. It will be emotional, but I'm so excited for her. She's got some amazing opportunities. She's going to be running at the school that's been her dream school since she was little. She's got 3 seasons because she's a 3-season athlete. So she's got cross country in the fall, indoor in the winter, and outdoor in the spring. So she will be busy with track and cross country and school, and she's going to be busy. So I don't know how often she's going to get to come home. So I might be making some more trips up there to visit with her because I don't know when she's going to get to come home. Thankfully, a few of her meets will be relatively local. Some of them, I know she's got a cross-country meet in Louisville and a cross-country meet in Alabama. I don't know if I'm going to make it to those. Those are kind of far. So we shall see. But y'all, if you've stuck around this long with me, thank you. I appreciate all of you. I hope you all are healthy and doing well and getting stitching in and just enjoying life. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep stitching. Bye, y'all.